Hey everybody, welcome back to Crick Couch. I'm Michael.
And I'm Skylar.
And so I promised last time we were going to pick up a sword, and no.
What?
No, I'm going to pick it up. I just beat a dick. Absolutely useless gesture. So, yeah, talking about the kind of like open world exploration, like...
Go back in there for 1 second.
Yeah.
The little, I don't know why, but it kind of looks like a dude to me, where the
like
fire is
the
the
eyes,
eyes, and then he's like his little neck. Yeah.
like
You're
a
the
little
mouth.
alien face.
Yeah. Okay, so your sword actually changed.
Yeah. So it even has the little blue cross guard now on it. So the open world secrecy stuff in this game is very interesting. Now, you know, I always bring up like context of era, right? Like games this is 1985 that this game gets made.
Oh my god, I wasn't born yet.
Yeah. So incidentally, I'll show this off here because I can. There's an NPC later that tells you can go in here, but she tells secrets.
Pay me and I'll talk.
I mean, nah, we're good because she's just going to give us the directions to get through the Lost Woods.
Oh, no matter what you pay her?
I think if you don't pay her enough, she doesn't tell you anything.
Hey, that's a good businesswoman right there.
So, you know, in this era, we're coming out of like...
What am I looking at here?
Those are boulders falling down the mountains.
Okay. I figured as much, but they could have been chicken nuggets. It was hard to...
McDonald's is coming for our ass.
Yeah, open world exploration and in another cave.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's just me this time.
Eh?
Do what you will. What, like...
There's actually something very specific that has to happen for this scenario to activate. We can't do anything yet. But so... we're going to do a couple more things before we go into the first dungeon just to get it out of the way. But this is also going to play a little bit into that kind of open world exploration discussion, because in a modern context, a lot of open world stuff has way more visual clues to where something might be, or you know, even just terrain, the way terrain kind of flows around and guides you to a place without just outright, you know, putting giant neon signs to something.
Unfortunately, a lot of open world games also do that.
Well, yeah, they do. But that's partly because a lot of these games are so big that if they didn't do that, you'd spend hours and hours. I mean, even like Elden Ring.
We're going to talk about Elden Ring a lot.
Well, Elden Ring and...
it's fresh on the mind. Oh, is there not a cave there?
There is.
Never mind.
I don't remember if this is a good or bad cave. Aha! It's a good cave.
Wait, what?
It's a secret to everybody. Miyamoto is actually... He wrote that line in Japanese, and he was like proud of that line. Because he thought of it as kind of like a duality. This is a lot of weight to put on a simple line like that. But he thought of it as a duality of like, oh, hey, you put a bomb here or you burned this thing down and found this. Don't tell your friends. Let them find out on their own. But also, it's a moblin giving you money, right? So it's like he's a traitor to all the enemies. So he doesn't want you to tell anybody because his moblin brothers are going to get mad at him.
I mean, he's got one of those faces of like, don't snitch.
I'm going to come for you. We're actually going to go to a much richer moblin over here. So on that whole like open world discussion, like what we're about to do here, what? Like, there's literally no way for you to know at all. Like, that is the only place that this happens. The only thing that might potentially tell you that happens is if you have been evaluating the map and you're like, why have I never been to the upper right corner?
Oh, interesting.
And so, like,
there's still like the question mark of, why can't I fill the map out?
Yeah, now it's interesting because, like, in this case, it's the upper right corner, so there's only 2 areas of access. You can see over here that there's water on the left side, right? I'm just going to go in here because we're going to get a lot of rupees from this guy.
What? It's another trader.
He's a rich-ass moblin.
How many rupees can you hold?
255, old school, like 8-bit 256.
Yeah.
Max with 0 counting in there. And I think this is another gambling house.
That's where I'd put my gambling. Let's play money-making
This
game.
actually, as opposed to the old woman who just gives you a secret, this is actually gambling. You pay him 10, you might get more back, you might lose.
I have also traveled through the roots of a broken-down tree that looks like a face, found an old man, and, played blackjack with him. It was a hell of an experience.
So
so it's just water.
Yeah,
okay.
so we know that this can't possibly, we think this can't possibly be the access point. But here's also a cave. So here we actually get show this to the old woman. So we do actually get a hint here about this. Now, if you have the manual, you know that that's a note. Like there's no labeling for it here, but you know that it's a note because the manual describes what it is.
Just a ransom note.
Yeah.
I have your granddaughter.
Sell this small elven boy potions, or I can't think of anything appropriate to say on a YouTube channel to threaten. I don't want our videos to get taken down. But still, like,
feed her candy before dinner.
I will make her very hyper. So you come to this screen and it's like, okay, well, what do I do? Like, maybe this is a screen where I have to just bomb everything up there, maybe. But even then, that is a particularly weird thing because normally you're not going to keep walking into a wall. You're going to walk up to it, drop a bomb. You'd have to like accidentally walk a little too far into that space to figure out that that's what you have to do. So that's a really weird secret. And it's kind of like...
But that's almost indicative of some of the older style of games. Because I remember my dad playing one of the Mech Warrior games. I think it was on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think you brought this one up in one of our other...
Of course I did.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
If y'all hear clacking, by the way, it's me playing with
he's making the little ram clap his little hooves together.
Yeah, I can't stop. This whole series. It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
this.
be the ram.
But like you would graph out the maps and stuff because there were like particular nooks and crannies that he wanted to like almost maximize his playthrough.
Yeah, and I think when you brought that up, that was also kind of in reference, like the last time. That may actually come up in a future video for when we release this one because it's in one of our other series, but it was also in reference to mapping out secrets and
releasing things in order. Not this channel.
No, not at all. Because I've also used Zelda as an example for palette swapping, which we will see, and I will mention when it happens. And we get one of the rings, and Link's color changes. Because I think I actually brought it up twice.
He is
in the same series.
He is very lime green.
Yeah. Well, and some of this is also going to be like the TV we're looking at it on because
we don't have cathode rays.
Yeah, we don't get that bleed over, and I don't have this television set for these color palettes.
I remember. I had to have been like right at 18, maybe 19. And I didn't really know a lot about TVs. I just didn't. So I didn't realize like, the old tube TVs were so different in comparison to like LEDs, because that's kind of right when like LEDs were becoming more the standard. And only because you were talking about like palettes and stuff. Hey, it's a bigger shield or a candle or a key.
So
and he is a monkey man.
He's just got a big mustache and a big nose.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, see, it's like he's got his two little eyes, and then he's got like a big nose, kind of like Mario nose, and then everything underneath is like full beard, mustache, everything.
I see it now that you're saying it to me, but when you first came in here, I thought, how like monkeys have kind of the like cutout of hair in their faces?
Yeah.
I see him as a little monkey man.
So this is technically the first merchant you would run into if you were just like exploring the starter area. That shield is too expensive. We're just gonna buy the candle.
Something to protect your life with, or something to see the way.
Well, here's the thing.
Did you just make fire?
Yes, that candle lets you make fire. The blue candle lets you make fire once per screen. In dungeons, if you run into a dark room, you can use that candle to light the room up, so functional there. You can also use it to burn down trees that are burnable.
I suppose that's true in real life, too.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we are going to start a forest fire.
Okay.
And here we have a merchant who sells the cheapest shield in the game.
And I'm back from outer space.
So,
or the forest.
So for the cost of 10 rupees less than that shield down below, we got the shield and the candle. So now we can block the heavier projectiles.
Yeah, it's a big.
Yeah.
Boy's got a tower shield now.
And
This cross got bigger.
We'll do one more thing, and then we'll actually start doing a little dungeon diving.
Christ is with him. You're a real pyromaniac, huh?
Well, yeah, but it's because I like hearts.
Yeah. That is fascinating. Would you like something that benefits you eternally through the rest of the game, or this potion?
Yeah, and again, without knowing this game, you wouldn't necessarily know it. And also, like, the amount of time it would take you to find some of these things, to your earlier point, I guess, last episode, like, you could spend hours bombing every single tile looking for caves. Or one of the tricks with this blue candle, you can only use it once per screen. There's
fucked him right up. Okay.
There's an upgrade to the candle later that lets you use it infinite times per screen.
Okay.
But if I wanted to test every one of these trees,
oh my god,
I would have to keep doing this. So the exploration factor.
I kind of love that, actually. I mean, because and the reason I love it is this: it shows you all the items in the game right at the beginning. You know there's another level of sword, candle, things like that. Mm-hmm. So you're like, this one's really limited. But I know there might be another candle out there somewhere.
And again, this is one of those, like, cool. The manual does tell you this. And also you actually get to see in that opening scroll all the items. So at the very least, you know that these things exist. Now, from that opening scroll, do you know that a candle is a consumable item?
Sorry.
No, you don't. But you do know that the candle exists. So, yeah, I mean, you might just pick that up on a whim. The candle is also something that's kind of important for no sword runs, because the fire does hurt things, as you saw with the Zora.
In the war of fish versus goofy-looking dragons, only one could be the victor.
I'm a gargoyle.
Oh, is that what it is?
I guess. I mean, it's kind of like a serpentine.
Are those fish on the line? That's kind of what I'm getting.
I don't know, but they've got, like, crew cuts, like Guile from... But they've also got, like, mutton chops down here, like... It just looks like a really fucked up biker. I'm scared of lizards. Okay, so this is Dungeon 1.
Oh, okay. So we're not going that out of order. This is, like, the first one?
No, so they're...
Why did they speed up?
Because they're bats. So, like, so we haven't talked about this yet, but the movement patterns of enemies are kind of interesting. Like, every enemy does have a deliberate movement pattern. There's a lot of interesting stuff we could talk about regarding that. It'd be hard to talk about it with all of them because every enemy's movement patterns actually matters.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you saw the bats could kind of fly all over the place. Here we have Stalfos, and they only move up, down, left, right.
And they juggle their swords relentlessly.
Yeah, and so you see in the left-hand Stalfo over there, see he's got like a key in the middle of him. That is something, I think that's unique to the Stalfos, given that they're skeletons, you can like see through them.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 keys now. We're going to do a little bit of a cheese on this first dungeon.
What?
There's a glitch with that door. Where if we do this,
just gonna show me all the ways to not properly. Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a technical reason that happens. I've just never looked into why. But in this game, keys carry between dungeons. Not all of the Zeldas carry keys between dungeons. So if we can save keys here and there, we make a little extra ease for ourselves later. Especially because, your favorite little lion key that you saw in the beginning, it doesn't actually show up till Dungeon 8, and it's a master key for everything. So, like, you no longer need keys once you get it.
Dope.
But if we can save on some keys early on, why not?
I knew he was special. So I just love to get the walking animation. They just mirror the.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty characteristic of a lot of sprite work back then. You only had so much space to work with. I mean, it's Link's kind of the same way. Well, now that I'm all flashy, you can't really see it as well. So
slow, fast.
But Link's kind of the same way, like from the left and the right. So these are not fundamentally different sprites, and if you see, like when I stab my sword, my shield moves out of the way. Same thing on this side. So if this were actually two different sprite sets, you'd see the shield move to one side, and of course in more advanced games, that absolutely happens.
He is left-handed in this one still. Yeah.
That was deliberately done in this game.
We had a friend that was so upset when Skyward Sword came out.
Yeah,
he was
because because they it was specifically like the Skyward Sword.
That was the original one. He was right-handed.
There was a Twilight Princess that was mirrored as well.
Oh, that's right.
But because so many people are right-handed, it would have been very difficult for people to like connect the whole movement of the Wiimote, right? Like that was, I think, their reasoning was that like they had to make Link right-handed in that case because the majority of the population is right-handed.
I love when they did the re-release. Was it for the Wii U? I think they reflipped all the maps and everything. Like the whole game is just basically mirrored for the most part, so that he's left-handed again.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So here we get another, like sometimes in dungeons there's just the random old man. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret.
Oh, y'all must be in Pennsylvania.
No one's, to my knowledge, no one has actually figured out what this is supposed to mean. It doesn't really describe, like there's been a lot of supposition.
We'll be the first right now. Here we go. Here on Crit Couch. Worldwide. Oh, man.
He's so mad at me. Next time on Crit Couch.
Jesus. So, I mean, I get it. You just hit him with a sword.
Next time on Crit Couch.
I'd shoot fire at you, too.
Shit.
Yeah. So, did you just, that's why no one can find it. They all attack him. What do you think, Mr. Ram?